What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Now, CM Punk surprised the wrestling world when he made a surprise appearance at Fox's WWE Backstage show. However, fans are wondering what's next for Punk on Backstage and possibly in the WWE. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at why Punk really returned. We've also got a few more news stories as we look at whether Cody resents WWE superstars using AEW as a bargaining chip. Do WWE superstars sign multi-year deals? CM Punk branded as sellout by fans, and he's already had a challenge by a former champion. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more videos like this. Now, in case you haven't heard, CM Punk made a surprise appearance at Fox Sports 1's studio show WWE Backstage. According to PW Insider, PWInsider.com has confirmed that Punk signed a deal with Fox, but has not yet signed anything with World Wrestling Entertainment as of this writing. The decision to bring Punk on was 100% a Fox call, but we are told that WWE gave the return their personal blessing. The two sides had circled on a deal, but it wasn't finally completed within the last few days. PW Insider's Mike Johnson noted that the only person who knew about Punk's return was Renee Young, reportedly in order to keep his debut a surprise. The WWE issued a press release announcing Punk's return. CM Punk joins WWE Backstage on FS1, the best in the world to appear as special contributor and analyst beginning Tuesday, November 19th at 11 PM Eastern Time. CM Punk, one of the most celebrated WWE superstars of all time, joins the roster of FS1's WWE Backstage beginning next week, Tuesday, November 19th. Phil Brooks, better known as CM Punk, joins WWE Backstage as a special contributor and an analyst. He will make select appearances in studio alongside host Renee Young and analyst Booker T. And a surprise it certainly was. Punk's return was soon trending on social media, and fans are wondering why he's back after months of speculation, and not to mention years of saying he's never going back. Well, let's look at why. Number 1. Backstage's ratings were awful. As noted in an earlier news video, WWE's Backstage episode last week drew a pathetic 49,000 viewers. While the show airs at 11 PM, it's still a disturbing number, especially for a show that had drawn much higher numbers, although it did have the benefit of the World Series game leading into it. It's likely Fox re-evaluated their decision to not hire Punk and felt he would help jumpstart the show's ratings. It would not be a good start for the Fox WWE partnership if one of their shows got cancelled only after a few weeks, which is where it was heading. Number 2. Punk's return adds the surprise factor. One of wrestling's most proven commodities is the element of surprise. Fans like exciting moments in wrestling, as they love being kept in suspense and never knowing what surprises might happen. Punk's return was undoubtedly a huge shock, and fans may tune in more to Backstage if the show can offer surprise guests and similar shockers to entice the fans. Number 3. Punk adds an outsider's perspective to Backstage. Punk brings both the perspective of a former WWE superstar but someone who left the company and has been vocal about its shortcomings. As such, he has a lot to say, and fans may feel the show has more of an edge to it with an outsider speaking and not a group of WWE shills. One of the most important factors to remember about Backstage is that the show is not run by the WWE but Fox, the network paying hundreds of millions of dollars to air Friday Night SmackDown. Backstage is one way for Fox to promote its WWE content, and whilst it's unlikely Fox wants Punk to go on a 20-minute profanity-laden rant about his WWE exit, although that would make for good viewing, it likely wants to create the impression that it could. Ultimately, Punk's signing has people talking, which brings us to our next reason. Number 4, it has people talking. As Oscar Wilde once said, there's only one thing in life worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about. WWE Backstage's premiere was dead on arrival, but Punk's presence gives the show a chance to succeed, as his popularity is still undeniable. Punk is a lightning rod for controversy, and his return is already blowing things up online. Although Fox would have been better putting him on every week rather than sporadic appearances, his return has people talking, and it's not just his appearance on Backstage. As number 5, it teases an in-ring return. Whether or not Punk is headed back to the ring is unknown. However, getting Punk into the backstage studio is seen by most people that it's the first step towards the straight-edge superstar returning to in-ring competition. The WWE is already teasing this with tweets by current superstars Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt. For example, the Architect commented, "Fight me, tag CM Punk in it," to which WWE on Fox responded that Rollins could come to backstage. Rollins then tweeted, "Glad to do it, book me a flight." Bray Wyatt posted pictures of past encounters with Punk and cryptically tweeted, "I saw you." While neither one of these matches might happen, it's a great way to entice the fans to think it might. Punk has already gone on record as saying he wouldn't rule out a WWE return if the price was right, and with Mr. McMahon happy to break the bank to sign talent, it's a distinct possibility. Consider these comments from Forbes' Blake Ostreicher about Punk returning to the ring. The widespread belief within WWE is that Punk will return to the company itself in the very near future. And if and when he does, there would be no shortage of dream matches lined up for him, with names like Roman Reigns and AJ Styles immediately jumping out as stars who would be fantastic opponents for him. But there isn't a better possible opponent for Punk than Austin, one of the biggest stars in pro wrestling, and a guy who could be a huge ratings draw for WWE with an improbable in-ring return, especially for a program with Punk that would result in the two microphone masters eviscerating each other with jaw-dropping promos for weeks leading up to their match. The door is open and it's just a question of whether Punk will be able to walk through it. Number 6. His UFC flop. Now, just because he's on FS1's WWE Backstage show doesn't mean he's out of the UFC. But while CM Punk remains in the USDA testing pool and has been drug tested as recently as this quarter, there doesn't seem to be any news of him stepping back into the octagon after losing his other two fights. Obviously, like this news has proved, never say never, as Punk could go back into the octagon at any time. But it's safe to say that his UFC career has so far been a flop, and we can't see him returning anytime soon. Perhaps this is a way to just forget about all those losses. And number 7, Fox wants the WWE to succeed. Friday Night SmackDown's ratings have been a disappointment since its move to Fox, something which obviously has the WWE's new sugar daddy concerned. However, it's also clear that Fox wants the WWE to succeed, and they're not looking to ditch the company just because the first few weeks have been shaky. Fox invested considerable resources cross-promoting the show on their sports programming, and they've created things like Backstage to promote it further. Fox obviously sees the WWE as the type of content that matches its overall programming, but it's just now a question of upping the ratings. Bringing Punk in is not only a way to boost Backstage, but boost SmackDown, and there's no way Fox is going to let the WWE put Punk on Raw if the Blue Brand's ratings continue dropping. But on to our next story. Does Cody resent WWE superstars using AEW as a bargaining chip? Now, recently Randy Orton posted a picture on social media suggesting he was considering a jump to AEW. Not long after, he signed a 5-year deal with the WWE and will likely finish his career there. Was there any interest in the Viper signing with AEW, or was this just a ploy to bump up his WWE payday? When asked how he felt about Orton's maneuver, AEW's Executive Vice President told fans at Starrcast 4, "I encourage it honestly. Because if they're feeling anyway where they're starting to tip, people who do this, they are all very talented people and they have big followings and stuff like that. Why not do something? Don't do nothing. Do something to showcase, hey, this is how I'm feeling. There are these other options." I don't mind that. Sometimes I know what they're doing when they do that, and I'll give them that little bit back because it's okay. I'll say this, as wrestlers, we're brothers and sisters as wrestlers. We really are. It doesn't matter what roof we're under. The wrestling industry, when you compare it to other forms of comparable influence like popular television, where they're paid so much and they're unionized, and they have so much to protect and safeguards. Cody, who received a huge push early in his career when he and Ted DiBiase Jr. joined Orton's faction Legacy, seems to have nothing but respect for Orton and his business acumen. One of the most exciting things about AEW is we've been able to raise the entire pay floor for the entire industry, so that if Randy Orton wants to take a dumb photo on an elevator and tag people he doesn't even know in it, and if WWE is dumb enough to buy it and they pay him a certain amount, good for Randy Orton. You know what I'm saying? He's a good guy. He's got like 20 kids now. I love him. I love Randy. I never got to beat him. Damn it. With AEW offering a new place to work and lucrative salaries, and the WWE looking to keep any and all of its performers away from it, you can count on more instances of WWE superstars hinting at jumping to AEW. Next up, two WWE superstars signed multi-year deals. Now, apart from the shocking appearance from CM Punk last night, WWE Backstage also revealed that two WWE superstars have now signed new multi-year deals with the company. The Miz was already locked down until 2020, but he's further extended his contract with the company until 2025, and Paige, whose contract was coming to expiration, has inked a new deal until 2023. And our last story, CM Punk is branded a sellout by fans. Now, whilst many fans like ourselves were thrilled with Punk's appearance and signing with Fox, others were disappointed and called Punk a sellout, as throughout his years he's been adamant and vocal about his negative views on the company. One fan tweeted, "CM Punk, I liked you more when you refused to be a sellout. I had more respect for you trying to make it on your own. I'm disappointed that you sold out. I'm even more upset you sold out to the most soul-sucking company in the world, entire world. You're better than that." Another simply put, CM Punk equals sellout. But what do you guys think? Is CM Punk a sellout? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.